to be over how the LGBT community is really, more often than not, just the LGB community and how they tend to exclude the trans members of the community. Is there a piece of chalk right now? Okay, so this is where I'm going to need you. I want you to take a guesstimate here. That is terrible. On a pie chart, what percentage of the LGBT community has faced discrimination within LGBT safe spaces?
40%.
Alright, so that would be about there-ish. What it looks like is a little bit more like this. I took a poll on Facebook. I have performer friends from all over the country. Every single person that I'm friends with on Facebook that identifies as trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming, anywhere other than I'm a male who identifies as male or a female who identifies as female, said that they've had people be as shit to them as they could possibly be in a space like that. It's not exactly the best situation for a lot of people. In general, I should probably just put this over here. The biggest thing that we have a problem with often is rejection and the fear of rejection in and outside of the community, but you would think in a space where you were claimed to be welcomed, that wouldn't be a big problem. One of the big issues is mortality rates. One of the most common problems is people are rejected and either the person that they come out to lashes out at them and raises an extremely high homicide rate, or because of frequent rejection, suicide rates are extremely high. We also have an issue with super outdated terminology and people who aren't trans trying to reclaim words. Like, it's not exactly a friendly thing to call a trans individual that you know a transvestite or a tranny, even though movies like Rocky Horror make it seem like it's a funny term. And we have a big issue with like cis gay dudes trying to reclaim a word that wasn't theirs to reclaim in the first place. There's also a really big issue with people calling drag queens who were born female, have transitioned to male, faux queens or bio queens, telling them that they're still women, even though they're not and they've transitioned to men. This sort of points out that most of the spaces that claim to be safe for trans individuals, as well as the rest of the community, aren't, and they're extremely toxic. And my laptop is freezing with my notes. The biggest way to sort of move towards a solution with this is to reduce the discomfort that all these people are feeling and move towards accepting them and helping people see how accepting them and not being shitty to them in these environments could help. They looked at the mental health of all these trans individuals just in general, and Rahman Rhymes and Timmons this past year have said that the expectations of rejection are extremely high based on their treatment, and it creates a lot of distress within these communities. It was also stated by Hughes and Stoltenberg this past year as well that these individuals are more likely to be homeless or unemployed because they just don't get the same levels of acceptance that other people do, even in areas such as Denton that claim to be LGBT friendly. Another thing is seen where when these people are rejected, there needs to be areas that they know that they can go to. Like many homeless shelters, especially things that are related to the Salvation Army, will turn people away if they're anywhere in the LGBT community. Specifically, if they're trans, they'll turn them away. But there have been a lot of issues where the Salvation Army's even just claimed because of someone's appearance that it wasn't okay for them to be there. One thing I want you guys to look at is through the eyes of someone else, how all of this feels. It'd be easier to do if my laptop moved a little faster. Anyway, it's not infrequent for these people that go into these spaces to be harassed. I'm sure you've all heard of the bathroom bill in North Carolina and how that took effect on people up there, that people were now allowed to pepper spray people in the bathroom, even if they thought they were trans, or people calling the cops on people that go into a bathroom because they think that they're trans. And cops will harass people, and they won't be able to use a public bathroom. Like me, myself, I'm a trans dude, meaning at this school, I should be using the men's restrooms. I can't because there's a large worry that because my gender marker hasn't legally been changed yet on my driver's license, that I could get beat in one of these bathrooms and they could claim that they were scared and still get out of it. This is an example of a gay bar in Dallas. It's a really big spot where a lot of performers go. It's not an entirely friendly place for anywhere other than like normal passing couples. And we need a space where when these couples do go out that aren't necessarily passing necessarily as like a cisgendered individual, that they can be accepted in a space and not be scared. Our space in Denton was just recently closed down. It was Mabel Peabody's. It was an extremely comfortable space for a lot of people. And it's led to a lot of worry within the community here. And how to fix this issue? When you say that you're an LGBT inclusive space, make sure you include the T on that. Like, don't let someone harass a trans individual in your bar just because maybe you think that that one individual isn't worth protecting, because that'll just drive away a bunch of other business. If there's any questions, there's contact information. But yeah, hopefully y'all see that that's not only a big issue outside of the LGBT community, but in general.